having had my morning, the morning I've experienced, and I think other DC residents would say the same thing. You're suggesting we have too much, and yet so much of us spend our time circling the block. My idea of whether it's too much or too little depends on, as I said, whether I'm circling that block or whether I'm looking at a sea of other people's cars taking up a huge landscape. Do we really have too much parking?
On a national level, we do. We really do have too much. I mean, you could argue about what the ideal amount of parking should be, but I think we can acknowledge that if parking is never more on a national level than 1/3 full, then it means we have quite a bit of ample real estate that could be put to better uses. With respect to your block in DC, I don't dispute your testimony that it is in fact difficult to find parking. Of course, we are all familiar with this experience, myself included, of circling the block and being able to find a space. I think there's a few reasons for that. I mean, one is, of course, that you live in one of the singularly dense urban environments in America, in Washington, D.C., which is very much not typical of the American urban environment. But the other thing, of course, is that parking is free. And street parking is free. And one of the things that happens when something is free is that it gets used in a way that's very inefficient. And that's something we see with parking all the time, is that the lack of any price put on parking means that people will leave their cars there for days, weeks, or months at a time and clog up what might otherwise be vibrant streetscapes where people are pulling in, pulling out, doing their business with vehicles that are just stuck there, basically performing long-term car storage.